Hi guys, this is Maluchip and welcome back to Dauntless. The patch is live probably an hour or 4 for you guys. For me it's almost after midnight when I actually get to play and test it a little bit. So yeah, without further ado, the biggest change that was in here was the sword overdrive. I have the hunger for the testing yesterday, so let's take a regular sword first. So, regular sword, where is my... Here is my sword I kind of want to use. Back, and let's get into a hunt and let's check it out. Because this is the biggest change that they are doing right now. So I kind of want to go over that one first. Okay, so Overdrive before the patch, basically, as we looked at it last week as well. Basically, you load up your weapon at the top with every hit you do. Let's dodge a little while. Then if he's fully charged, you swing with your first strike. You actually swing a ball of damage towards your enemy, and with the second swing you actually do more heavy hits, so you could get 3 in. Let's test that one more time. Ow. So, charging overdrive up. That wasn't intended. And one more. So overdrive is active. First one is a ball of damage directed towards the behemoth. And the second ones are basically heavier hits than you normally do with the sword, while overdrive is still active. Okay, so the first thing we notice is on top our bar has changed a lot. We first used to have a line with all like orbs everywhere. I think it was 5 or 6 orbs. Let's try to get this bar up, of course. And now it's just one line with a big orb at the end, and that's probably because overdrive you used to be able to activate whenever you kind of want to. Ow, that wasn't in the plan. But now you can only activate it when the meter is full. Dodged too soon there, so let's try to get our meter full. One more hit, there we go. So now we have a Q button saying when you can actually activate it. So let's activate it. So if we hit the button again, it shows like a dashing person. Oh, that's actually a pretty good dash. And we can also see a timer when you are able to use your dash again. That's actually a pretty good distance. We should measure it out versus the Kashaya lantern. I think I can do one more from here. Ah, too late. Okay, let's fill it up. Let's check out how far we can actually dodge. So let's use heavy attacks now and see how fast we can fill up our bar. Yeah, that is definitely faster to fill up your bar with the heavy attacks than the light attacks. If I can actually hit him. Yeah, definitely faster. Okay, so let's do starting points, let's say here. And a dash, so we get across these 3 over here. Now let's do one with the Kashaya lantern. So we get around, because I was moving while I was doing Kashaya lantern. So basically it's the same distance you actually do, like the Kashaya lantern. Which is a pretty good range to actually be able to dash away. So the next feature we are able to do, like when you loaded up your overload, the normal one. Oh, shouldn't have done that last attack. So let's fill it up pretty quickly here with some heavy attacks. Luckily I didn't get hit there. So overdrive can be activated. Now let's quickly let him do his thing. Yeah, I know you're gonna shoot spikes at me. So if you activate it now, You cannot deactivate it because deactivating would use the sprint, but as we swing our hits, Ow, that's not. So let's do that without looking at the behemoth, so we can actually. So you actually do some blade swings to the front, looking pretty amazing. What's the distance? I would say 5 meters, something like that, while you are still able to actually hit him. Let's try to do that once again. And interrupt right there. And let's fill this bar up. Good dodge. So our meter is running. And we are doing the damage to the single part that we are hitting. But we're also doing the AoE damage that it was talking about. Let's quickly drink up. Yeah, if you do the attack at a range, you basically... I know you want to push forward. Let me heal up. So you basically only do the AoE damage if you do it from a distance. You need to be able to hit him to do that regular damage. And the damage... I thought I evaded all of those. What can I say? I'm really impressed. It's really... like, it's a utility tool, being able to have more movement behind it. And then, well, getting that extra damage in there. I should have dodged that one. I think I was still interrupted with my last attack. This is something I talked about before. I kind of... So let's activate it one more time when we can. So using the same button to activate it, you do a dash. And now with every swing you do, you basically fire your blade into the distance. Yeah, it really looks amazing. Really loving it. Okay, so let's take a look at what the hunger can do, because the hunger also have some changes. All right. So before this patch, you basically needed to pick up parts, would mean that you would do use a button and get well, a moment where you could not dodge. So after this patch, oh, there we go. So you pick it automatically up if you walk over it, and we also get an indicator on the left side with an actual like green visual that says what rank it is of which part. Like blue's probably gonna be rare then. And then the purple's gonna be the exotic parts, or whatever they're called again. Can't really come at this name again. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this behemoth, grab the hunger, and then let's see how the hunger works with the new changes. So the hunger before the patch, basically you fill up your bar regularly like you would do with the Overdrive, but this time to actually activate the feature called Feast. Let's try not to take that much damage, or not too many damage. So once you were full of damage, you basically activated Feast, and then every time you deal damage, you would take health away from your bar. As you can see at the top, every time I'm dealing damage, I'm basically getting hit. And then before Feast is over, if you activate it again, you'd grab a hand that would get all the health back that you lost, basically, while doing damage. I did take some damage. Okay, so the first thing we already see is that this bar has the same, the top bar has the same change as the new bar actually got. So it's the same bar as Overdrive. And I'm not dodging at all. Let's try to fill it up without dying, of course. Almost there. Yeah, doing those heavy attacks. There we go. Nice and full. So if we activate it now, we basically start Feast. And then you do the damage. And as we can see at the top, we are taking damage, but regenerating with each hit we actually do. So it still has the component of the hunger where you lose health with each hit. But now, because you cannot reactivate Feast again, because you basically do the dash, you used to be able to activate Feast again to actually get the grab hand emotion out of your chest to regain all the health, but because they basically gave it a dash motion to press that button again, they basically made it so every hit you do, actually you gain health while you lose health. And I do believe you gain more health than you're actually using. So really, really nice change there for the hunger as well. Incorporating, well, it's not, well, you can't really call it feast anymore, right? Well, you can call it feast because you're basically healing yourself. Yeah, do your spikes. He's still dangerous with that one. So let's activate feast. So we are losing health, but yeah, we are gaining more than we're losing. So there should be an invulnerability. As you can see with the Kashai Lantern, I can dodge through the behemoths, but with this dash, I cannot dash actually through them. Let's try to test that one more time without dying, of course. Push forward. I said it and I still went down, and this is still a bug in the game where you appear to be still running around, but your body is actually laying on the floor, giving you a completely delayed effect. There we go, it's active and he's trying to get away. And he got away. So yeah, with the oh, look at that. Yeah, I do have to say, it's a really amazing ability. But I can't see where the invulnerability comes in, because I was still, like, taking damage while I was doing... Oh, right, and we get stuck now at 1%, so there's no more dying while in the feast state, so you can basically keep knocking, you'll remain at 1% health, as in the patch notes was. As you could see in the previous before event with the Shroud, I actually killed myself while using Feast because I didn't deactivate it in time. Yeah, what can I say? These sword changes are incredible. I do hope that they... Well, this has been on my mind for a little while. The chain blades, when you actually pull in, you should be able to hang on to the behemoth. Like, keep like one spike in there, like in his flesh, and then being able to hit him with your second hand or something like that. That would have. I know they changed it a little bit while you do your backflip. Now, basically every backflip you do, even if it's not at full health, you basically do damage with every backflip you do. But like the chain pull-in that you can do, you should actually be able, like, it's gonna be like riding a bull. You just latch onto his back, you're on top of the behemoth, he's doing his moves, and you're just smacking away from above. While, for instance, as long as you are attached to the behemoth, your stamina bar goes down. The second your stamina bar is dropped, you basically pull out of the behemoth, or reactivating the button again will make like that dash away or that backflip away. That's kind of like a thought I have that would increase a lot more, well, fun towards the chain blades, and also make it like specific, like no other weapon could be able to latch onto a behemoth. Even if it was like Pangar and he was doing his roll, you just latch onto his roll and you roll with him or something like that. It would be amazing. But yeah, these sword changes, that's what's happening right now, and they are truly amazing. So let's look at a couple other changes that I did find or that we can compare. But yeah, these sword changes really made me happy. I'm gonna be playing swords a lot more now that these are in, because I was basically focusing on repeater play, because I love playing with guns, they're fun. I hope they bring in more guns, or a bow or a crossbow, or I don't know, like a ball, a chain with a giant ball on it. There's so many weapons they can bring into this game. I really hope they get inventive and bring in everything that we can ever desire. Okay, let's take a look at all the other changes. So one of the other changes we got was towards the chat. It basically, well, when I open it, I can still open it with the same button, but it now says Ramsgate chat at the top, indicating where your chat is. You now have a timer next to your, well, you basically have a timer in front of whatever you type. So if I type in something like this. I basically get a timer saying how late I actually said something to anybody or everybody. You should be able to, not really sure if somebody responds, you should be able to click on a name. There we go. So Maluncha, because it's me, I cannot invite him, but I can click the whisper. So kind of need to wait till somebody says anything to see all the other options. But yeah, basically you can click on the name. It's left click or left click, right click doesn't do anything. Then you can actually whisper to him or invite him. Yeah, we need to see the other. I only thought it was, they said in the patch note that it's only friends. But now that I actually can click on myself and whisper to myself, I'm kind of wondering if it's not, like we talked about it, that it would be a really good feature that it's gonna be for everybody and not just your friends. So kind of wondering if we can actually like invite or whisper or throw a friend invite. I think that's one of the options as well. So let's quickly check out the other options in the game. So if we go to, let's just close this one off. So if we go to map, the behemoths now, Monstrous Verge, then Expedition, Alredic's Refuge. So these behemoths were here yesterday as well, and then Iron Falls. Yeah, these are the same behemoths that are basically here as yesterday, I do believe. So they should be able to switch out, so we should be able to get like Skarn on Aurelic's Refuge, as well as on Iron Falls, and then, well, the same for the other islands as well, the Underskis. So if you do Expedition, the Burning Rose possible behemoths now also should be able to be on Sandriana Stone or on Cold Runner. So different behemoths, same behemoths, but a different environment to play them in. It shouldn't make that much of a difference unless you are like hunting the specific behemoth over and over and over again. Basically, it's a nice scenery change, right? So yeah, that's another change that they put in. We talked about the break parts, that you no longer need to pick them up already. And every other patch in here, well, somebody still, come on, somebody say something in chat. Just anything. But yeah, those are the changes that they brought in, and those are actually only changes that I could record. I couldn't find any of the other bugs. I tried the chain blades multiple times to see if I could actually get that frost damage to show up, but it wouldn't show up for me. So yeah, I think we talked about the most important changes that came to this game, and those were the sword special changes. And like I said, I kind of hope that they are going to do this with every every weapon, like give them like something incredibly special, give them something ultimately that really makes them like, I'm just gonna use a weapon, but yeah, I'm gonna use swords, or I'm gonna use this because that can do actually this or that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the episode, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.